Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's Rivalz Race Chat. My name is Clinton Geoffrey, along with Adam Ross, and we've got an hour of exciting racing talk, and we've got some cool clips and a bunch of nice, exciting news to talk about. So, Adam, welcome to the show. We lost Adam, right? All right, looks like we lost Adam. G-Force TV keeps rolling along while we work to get Adam back on the show here. Things have been amazing on the channel so far. We've had so many great things going on, and we can't thank the viewers enough for everything you've done to get behind all the projects we've got going on. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we've had going on. This past weekend, we had some awesome racing on G-Force Lite and, of course, live with the APC series. Adam and I went out and called the sprint car races on Sunday night, and that was a blast. Some great racing there between Jordan Poirier's from Quebec in the 28 and Corey Turner in the Burger Barn Petra Plus car from this area. Spencer, have you got that clip of the 360 race, the ending? It was pretty spectacular. We'll play that now while we wait for Adam to join us back in. But this race ran in 7 minutes, and it was awesome. Adam, you want to say anything to tee up this clip? This is
No, sorry about that. My mic went out just as you introduced me. We were talking 10 seconds before the show started. And then all of a sudden, I was quiet. So apologies, but I'm back now.
What we're saying is this whole race ran in about 7 or 8 minutes. It was amazing. The track, it rained all day at Humberstone, and Dave held out and got some wild track conditions. Let's look at the last few laps, at least around the midpoint of the sprint car race, the battle between Corey Turner and Jordan Poirier through the traffic.
Turn 3 on the inside.
And Pauls would know if Turner got by that he's the leader and will give way. And here goes Poirier around the outside of Kevin Pauls. Goes right around Corey Turner, and he'll take 2 for 1 and grabs the lead on the back straightaway.
Yeah, Turner, I'm not sure what happened there in 1 and 2. He struggled to get the car rotated. Jordan Poirier takes advantage on the outside. Now Poirier to the inside. Oh, baby, Corey Turner slams the door shut.
This is full contact 360 sprint car racing. And Poirier got him off his game, and Poirier's very good on the bottom. Look at the bite he gets at him. He can just roll that inside and get back to the power so much earlier. And here he comes off the bottom of 2 again, looking a lot like the other Poirier, the fireball.
I think Corey Turner learned something that time through 1 and 2. He got the car turned a little bit, was able to get a smoother run through the turn. He's gapped Jordan Poirier just a little bit, but that's definitely the weak point for Corey Turner. It's the center of 1 and 2.
I think Poirier learned something both times when he had to go out to the outside, halfway point through in this one. But when Poirier had to go around, both Hughes and McKnight, his car just runs so good, and he can make a big gain on the outside of 1, but loses it here at the midpoint of the back straight.
Yeah, Poirier's able to close the gap going into 1 and 2. Turner seems to gain that ground coming off at turn number 2, but he knows that Poirier is there putting on the pressure. Here goes Jordan Poirier looking to the outside again. Turner again with that good drive off the corner.
Yeah, it's a battle of getting in harder versus getting off better. Turner better off a 2. Poirier with a lot more entry as he's out braking him going into 1, but cannot get the bite on the outside to draw alongside that Petro Plus 13 of Corey Turner.
Just ahead of them, Glenn Stiers in the 0-2 in battle with Scott Burke in the 9B. That's a battle for position. Cameron Thompson telling them move over, the leaders are coming, but they're in a race for position. Here goes Poirier again to the outside.
Still can't get the drive on it 2, but he's closer this time than he's been so far. Turner right up the inside of Stiers, and that opens up the door for Poirier. Poirier cuts him off into turn number 1.
New race leader, it's Jordan Poirier taking the lead down off of 1 and 2. And he's using,
and that was pretty much where it wrapped up for Poirier drove away, but it was exciting to call that race. I had a great time having you with me, Adam. That was awesome. So we want to thank everybody for watching along on G-Force Lite. The program Sunday was great, Adam.
Torn, Clint. I needed a night to just go home and relax. But I knew you weren't feeling great. And I knew Connor was going anyhow to go down with Darren Dryden. I thought, yeah, let's go down to Humberstone. I'm glad I went. It was a fun show. was great to see some fans in the grandstands. So no, it was really, really good. And it was fun to announce with you for a night and do nothing but focus on announcing races.
Yeah, agreed. Just old school, no rosters, having fun, and it was a great time. I want to thank Dave for welcoming us back, and big shout out to the sponsors who got behind the sprint car stuff going on here in Niagara. A lot of the teams have really been pushing it. It's been Burger Barn, Nitro 54 Variety, Core Pack Merchandising, and Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse have been putting a lot of purse money out there to get these races out there for the sprint teams, and it's greatly appreciated. And the next one coming up will be this weekend. We're back live, and for all our pavement fans, we got a lot of APC stuff to talk about. So don't get scared by off all the dirt stuff we can talk about right now. We're getting back to the wild weekend we had at Sunset Speedway, but let's talk about this weekend, Adam. We got a dirt doubleheader coming up, and then on Sunday night we're going to show the Oscar event from Sunset on Sunday night at 7. Merrittville will show Monday night, the Saturday program this week, as we'll be live from Merrittville Friday night. So throw that up, Spencer. This is the ad. It's G-Force Operation Green Flag from Merrittville Speedway, presented by Nitro 54 Variety, Burger Barn, Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse, and Core Pack Merchandising. We'll be live on the air this Friday night, September 18th at 7 p.m. 3 divisions of racing, 360 sprint cars, the Action Sprint Tour, and a $500 to win street stock race. So check that out on G-Force TV. And then the very next night, we travel down the 401 down to our other favorite home, Brighton, for Apple Fest Shootout Light. It's a one-day version of what they've normally been going on. It features dirt sportsmen, late models, Canadian UMP modifieds, vintage cars, Thunder stocks, and Comp 4 mini stocks, and that's going to happen live on G-Force this Saturday, September 19th. And they've got a lot of great supporters behind them, so lots of live action. Our crew's going to be super busy this weekend, but two places we've been to a couple times already, and we've got some experience there, so we're excited to get back. Your thoughts about the weekend ahead, Adam? I know you won't be with us Friday because you're stuck working with TSN on an off Friday, which is kind of baffling, but that's the way that the studios get booked sometimes. We'll have Clayton Johnson with Greg on Friday night at Merrittville to fill in for you, and you'll be back with us on Saturday.
You know, I want to let you in on something. We always do the voiceover work with TSN for the Pinty series on Thursday nights. And this year, Joel Robinson from Fuel Media Lab, who organizes everything, knows that I've started doing a mental health program on Thursday nights. He actually changed the voiceover dates to Wednesday nights, which was perfect for whatever reason for this last event. So every event's been a doubleheader: Sunset, Flamboro, Jukasa, and we go 2 separate Wednesday nights. So it's a 2-week cycle. For whatever reason, for Jukasa this time around, he decided we're going to be in the studio tomorrow night, Wednesday, and then again on Friday night. So he was very kind to avoid my mental health events on Thursday night, but just so happens, I've got to be there Friday. And as committed as I am to G-Force, Joel's been pretty good to me, so we have to work with that schedule. I'm really going to miss being there because I love sprint cars at Merrittville. It's going to be a good show, but I'll have it up on my phone because I should be finishing just about the time things get rolling at Merrittville.
Well, if you can join us, we'll work you in somehow. The other thing is, Joel's plans were a lot longer in place than the ones that just came together. This plan just came together in the past 12 days here to get this Merrittville Friday race up and going because Jay from Burger Barn was pushing to get the crates and other teams another race, and Jay spurred up and got everybody on board, and we were able to put it together. And he said, well, if we're going to do it, let's just show it live. So we were able to get the funding to get that going, and we'll bring out the full team Friday night. And, of course, Saturday night, we're all excited to get to Applefest. It's my first time at Applefest in probably 12 years, maybe, since last time I got to go down to Applefest. We've had some motorcycle events at Ohsweken that's kept me away the last few years, so I'm excited to get back there myself.
And even though it's a little bit scaled down, Clinton, I'm still really looking forward to it. It's kind of a back to basics. I think the sportsmen are going to be phenomenal, and there's a bunch of race teams. Again, they really appreciate being made part of the show, and that's something we have seen week in and week out all summer long. For all the people who've not been able to be at the racetrack, I can tell you this much: what you have missed out on has been an amazing energy. I've never seen events where the teams are so appreciative to be able to be there putting on a show, and it's different. And hopefully that carries over to next year, and hopefully 2021 is normal. But I hope that appreciation level carries over to next year, and I have a feeling it will, Clinton. If you know what I mean, it's just different.
Yeah, it's been. You're right. Everybody seems happy to be there. No one's cranky. We're just all happy to get out with the family and have some fun. Let's jump into the next round. We've got. We spent Saturday up at APC Series event at Sunset Speedway, along with the Oscar Modifieds and the McCall Racing Enterprises Super Stock Division, and a 3-division show. I had a great time. I think Sunset is a great little spot. It's perfect for our crew to put on a broadcast because the runs aren't super long, and I think we can really cover that place excellent. And it looked great. What a field of cars they bring at them. Sure, there's going to be some complaints with how long some of the cautions took, and we'll get to that. But this is the Super Stocks. They let off the program here, and this is a bit of a highlight reel. So if you missed it, you can go back and catch it on the channel here on GeForce TV. Just look it up. Just click the videos tab, and you'll find all our recent videos. The Super Stocks, Adam, they put on some great shows as a extra division here on these APC races that we've been at so far.
Yeah, if I have to pick a highlight of 2020, I really want to call out the Super Stock division for how supportive those teams have been, the events that have been put on. I think they clearly appreciate people are trying. They've towed up to Sauble. They towed out to Sunset. Just fantastic to see that.
Yeah, fully. Then we got onto the Oscar mods, and they had a good field of cars too. Roll those clips, Spencer. They just look cool on TV. I know, Adam, during the broadcast, you mentioned a couple times how excited you were to be there calling these races, and I thought they did a good job.
Oh, they did for sure. Great racing, fun to watch. There was a lot of action to follow. There was action everywhere there. We saw a close call between Norman Newman and Colton Everingham. And now I believe we have a look at the London Recreational Racing 100 that took the green in daylight, and I think it almost took the checkered in daylight the next morning, Clint.
Yeah, there was definitely some delays there, but the excitement, it was super exciting to watch. There's the wild finish, and we'll get into that in a minute. And there was a lot of controversy at the end after a long day, but the excitement level was off the charts, I thought, all day long. So good job to all the divisions that came out. Good job to the APC teams. What a field of cars they bring. The cars just look so good every race, full fields, pro teams. It's a great series. We're super proud to be able to deliver it to the fans who can't get out to the track this year. That brings us into to talk about the APC finish. So it got down to a great battle. Most of the day, it was basically Joe Lawrence, Pete Shepard, and Brandon Watson were the top 3 cars most of the race who battled. It didn't seem like anybody was really out of that if they were in the top 10, Adam, but those 3 seemed to lead the charge most of the day. Why don't you take us through this finish? And Spencer's got the clips of the last few laps, I think. So, Spencer, play the finish to this race. So this was after a long delay, after there was the wild crash there, the cars on top of each other and stuff.
Yeah, if we're going to show the finish, we might as well just let the call be played, and we can talk about it afterwards, because I don't think we could match the energy level that we had coming down to the final laps.
Great point. Roll it, Spence.
Side goes Lawrence. Lawrence with the nose underneath Watson gives him a little bit of a push down in the corner. Now another little nudge.
Jordan Lawrence isn't going to be dealing with this with kids' gloves. Down the backstretch they work. Watson still leads, but Lawrence is right there.
All over the back end of the number 9 of Watson, and Pete Shepard in the 22. He'll be there to capitalize side by side for the lead.
Watson up high, Lawrence down low, coming to the white flag this time by. Jordan Lawrence got 1 lap to get it done. Will Watson be able to hold him off? Watson squirts back out front. White flag in the air off turn 2 for the final time. Brendan Watson leads.
Down the back straightaway, Joe Lawrence has a run. Down into 3, into the back bumper once. He gets a run to the inside. Contacts Brandon Watson into the outside wall. Lawrence to the win. Holy crap.
Yeah, what a wild finish there. So Good old bumping and grinding. You know, they were playing nice for a long time, but then the last couple turns there, it just got a little too wild and a little more aggressive than I think either of them definitely wanted to do. Of course, more than Watson wanted. Joe was probably okay with it because he won the race, but just an exciting finish after what was a fairly long day. But man, it was exciting to watch.
Well, what I was pleased with is both drivers got interviewed. Clinton, you interviewed Joe, and
Well,
you
we're gonna play them.
interviewed. Okay, let's
We've got them
play
here.
them because I want you think about this. Okay, here's two drivers that put their cars on the line on the last lap and did extensive damage for the sake of winning a race. Now, I tip my hat to these guys. They went balls to the wall. But listen to these interviews, and we'll regroup from them after.
You guys had a great battle going on for the whole 100 laps, but at the end, things got a little bit wild there. Take us your side of the finish.
Well, I got beat to the line on start, which I'm told is not allowed. Got driven up track in turn 2. And, you know, if someone else isn't going to deal with it, then I'm going to deal with it and put my foot down.
It's definitely a tough one. I know we both made contact there. He was trying to go for the win like I was. I made some moves that he probably didn't like, and he made some moves I didn't like. Fortunately, just couldn't hold on enough. Just got into me coming off of 4 there, and we tried to put me up, and I just tried to stay in my line, but unfortunately I couldn't hold on to it long enough, and we went for a spin there and hit the wall pretty hard.
Classy interview. It could have been a lot wilder than that. I expected more fireworks at the finish.
You know what I love about it? He didn't complain about the hours they spend in the shop. He didn't complain about the thousands of dollars they spend on these cars. And I madly respect the amount of time and money people put into this stuff, Clinton. But at some point, shut the hell up about it. Just race. And that's what those two interviews showed us. It was just about the racing. He did something I didn't like. I took matters into my own hands. The other side, Brandon, saying we both did things the other didn't like, tried to hold on to it, didn't work. No talk about, I'm going to get him. No talk about, oh, this is going to cost us thousands. Just hard-nosed racing and good interviews afterwards. I love it. I don't love the damage, but I love the fact that we're focused on the racing, because if you want to whine about those other things, stay home.
No, I thought I expected a lot more action in the pits afterwards. Both teams seemed to take it pretty good from whatever we saw. But you know, just some good hard racing. It's really going to set up some amazing excitement going into the final event 2 weeks from now at Jukasa on the 26th. It'll be a doubleheader event. They'll run twin races on that day, so we'll be there to present it all live here on GeForce TV. Once again, I want to thank everybody for getting involved with the APC series and us. And it's been great. We've got some great stuff planned and getting ready to go back to Jukasa in 2 weeks. So excited about that. Another point of the deal, Adam, is Ray Morneau had fumes in the car. Talk about that situation. I know you're a little bit closer to them guys than I am. And what happened to Ray? I don't know if Spencer's got the clips, but we did follow his story a little bit as well.
So I'm going to tell you some details I think they would be okay with me sharing. Ray just put a post about how fumes were getting bad in the car, and they had talked a little bit on the radio about it. So the conversation was coming up, and Ray's dad, Randy, said one of the last times he cued the radio, the things he was saying just weren't making a lot of sense. And Randy actually said, look, just come in. It's not worth it. Ray said, no, it's fine. And he said to me afterwards on that last restart, he says, things were just happening super, super fast. And he knew it was time to come off the track. So he actually cued his radio. Randy said all the crew ever heard was he cued the radio and said, in, and came down pit road. And poor Ray says he was fumbling with the strap on his helmet and couldn't get it off before he got sick. So a messy situation in the 03, but so thankful that he stopped when he did, because as it was, trips to the hospital, they're checking his blood levels. Like carbon monoxide poisoning can be a bad thing. He's on the mend. They're starting to work on the car for Jukasa. And what was unfortunate, I had just called him out because he was running near the back. He qualified 17th. They didn't have a real fast car they were able to make passes with, but he avoided all the troubles. Like, he missed all of the wrecks that were going on and was just quietly having a decent run. And as soon as we talked about him, of course, the fumes got worse. He pulled off, and that was the end of their night.
Tough deal for them. It just goes to show how important it is to keep that cockpit sealed up. That's one of the issues. Moving on with the Pro Late model, so that wrap us up our sunset coverage. Thanks everybody for coming out for that and viewing it with us. We're excited to get back to our next APC event, which will be, as we mentioned, Saturday, September 26th. Next thing we got on the card is to talk about is the next Pro Late model race that Flamboro put together for October 3rd. High Grade Roofing has got together with Flamboro Speedway, and they are working to bring us back in for that race as well, Adam. So that's going to be an exciting day. What do you know about the October 3rd race at Flamboro, other than that we'll be there covering it live? I believe the vintage cars are part of that, Pro Late models, and I don't have the other divisions. I don't have the flyer rate in front of me yet, but we want to thank everybody from High Grade Roofing for coming on board and picking us up, because we're excited to get back to Flamboro.
I know it's a good paying late model race. $2,500 to the winner. That's the biggest winner's purse I think I've heard of this season. So that's going to be awesome. Should be a fun show. Like you say, the vintage modifieds are going to be back out. We were over at the race shop last night getting the car Connor was driving put back together. So we hope to have it back and ready. It's been a thrash, but no, it's going to be a lot of fun. I love these shows. The nice thing about these races, Clinton, is every division that's going to be at these tracks, we're going to be pretty much full of cars.
Yeah, as I read here, mini stocks, Pro Late models, pure stocks, and Canadian vintage modifieds on October 3rd. That's at Flamboro. Make sure you get over there and check it out. And I just want to make sure, am I missing anybody? Super stocks also. So it's Frosttoberfest, and it is going to be October 3rd at Flamboro. Late model payout has continued to grow. As Adam just mentioned, Super Stock's going to pay $1,200 to win, unless that's grown since the poster. Mini stocks, pure stocks, and Canadian vintage modifieds all live here on GeForce TV Saturday, October 3rd. I'm excited to be doing that one. Let's move on to our Burger Barn video of the week. This takes us back to two situations that happened on the dirt in this past 7 days. First was a sprint car wreck you shared on Saturday, Adam, with our production chat that we have, where when we see stuff on the internet, we send it through, so we remember to talk about it today. Let's have a look at that one. I'm not sure, I think this might be the Skylar Gee crash from Port Royal. Is that right, Adam? Do you know?
Yes.
What you shared? Play it, Spencer.
Skylar Gee with Shane Stewart. And man, they're driving these cars as though they're street stocks. Check this out.
So you get together and it folds over the front end there, and then a wild ride ensues.
And they all land in a heap.
Now, Skylar, Canadian from the West, was all right, which is good. And as with Stewart, they both came out of that one okay. But just goes to show you how fast you can buck one of those front ends on a sprint car and go for a wild ride at a fast place like Port Royal. That takes us to another wild accident we seen. And this goes to show you how critical racetrack safety is. And play this one, Spencer, if you got it. This is the street stock sliding through the infield, and it pretty much gets folded in half. You don't have that one? Okay, I'll try and scroll it over to you. I thought I sent that to you. This car is
there
just
video?
folded in half. I don't know. I saw the video of it,
Yeah,
yes. Do you have a picture of it, Spencer?
Yeah, I saw the pictures. I never saw video.
I thought I put that all through, so I'm mistaken. Yeah, so there's the car. It slid sideways through the infield and hit at one of the infield poles and wrapped around it. And thankfully, they were all right, too. But, oh, my goodness. You got to see it. I got to find it. For next week's show, I'll make sure we have it. I thought it was attached to that thread with these photos, Spencer, but wow. Look at that, Adam. Like,
yeah, that
it almost looks like an offset super modified from Oswego. Like, it's just gutted in the middle, and, there's not really – I wonder if the car would drive. Like, it's obviously bent, but he might have been able to finish the race with that if the roof wasn't down in front. But, wow, what a wild – I saw that with a mod stock at Maryville probably 20 years ago or 25 years ago. throttle stuck, went down through the infield, and I swear the one of the infield poles was basically where the air cleaner would be on the V8. Like, and he walked away, but it was a vicious crash. But yeah, crazy stuff. And it just goes to show you, even in the lower divisions, how important safety is to make sure you've got your cars well built and have on the right safety equipment.
Yep, absolutely.
So, we're just going to keep on cruising here. If you have anything you want us to talk about, to message us or send your comments in. We'd love to hear from you. We appreciate you joining us here on 8 o'clock every Tuesday when we mess around and have some fun. Adam's out there is the next thing.
Hang on one second. JP Bowley is telling me that Jared Esch, not Shane Stewart, in that wreck. And I believe, JP, we owe you a happy birthday. I got that memo a little bit late for Humberstone, so happy birthday. If that is indeed the same JP Bowley, they went to Merrittville and Humberstone, won both lotteries.
That's awesome. Got lucky. Next one we talk about is Adam's out there. Adam, our good buddy Tim Miller wrote an article about you and put you in the paper last week in Hamilton Spectator. Talk about what you've got going on. Most people here on this program are aware of what you're doing with mental health and helping people with their anxiety. Let's talk about how this came together and how cool it was to be featured in Tim's article on which is normally about motorsports, where he combined both of your passions last week.
Yeah, we've known Tim for 25 years, Clinton, and he's always been a great supporter. And he's just one that we chat with. When you get the chance to talk to Tim, it's always interesting because he's quite plugged in. And he emailed me out of the blue and said that the newspaper's really been supportive of him writing what he wants about motorsports and relevant things. And he asked if I would mind if he did a piece on the mental health stuff. And he sort of framed it, do you think there's any correlation between COVID-19 and not being able to go racing the way we normally do and mental health? I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, there is. It's been really, really hard. So he phoned me up. We did an interview for a while, and lo and behold, 2 days later, it's in the newspaper. So I really have to thank Tim Miller. That was kind of him to do that. And I've got to thank the Hamilton Spectator as well for allowing that's valuable column inches, Clint. You know what that's like being in the promotion business. Space in the newspaper is money. It's valuable. So for them to take the space to write a little bit about the work that I'm doing was quite gracious.
No, definitely. And you're doing good work out there. If you haven't caught Adam, tell the people where they can catch up with you, Adam, on social media and get involved. Even in days if you're just not feeling right, feeling down, things have been bugging you this week, come out and hang out. To be honest, I tend to be cooking when your show's on lately. I have it on my phone in the kitchen while we're prepping dinner. And, that's how we follow along with it. So, tell the folks where they can find Adam out there and your Mindwell sessions.
Yeah, search up Adam Out There on Facebook. That's where the Mindwell sessions are every Thursday at 7. We're on social media. We're on Instagram as well, Adam Out There. So if you search that up, you're going to find us. And yeah, it's just a community, Clint. We're building a community where people can come and share their stories. People can come and just listen and feel normal because they're not alone. If you're suffering anxiety, depression, and a lot of people are, and a lot of people are suffering those things this year that have never dealt with it before, Clinton. And what we believe is, don't suffer alone. There's a lot of comfort to be had in sharing and just being a part of a community where people can understand and show you compassion.
No, you're doing a great job. Proud of you, buddy. We have the 92, Dan McKenthune. I hope I'm saying that right. Dan McKenthune, number 92, Street Stock Crash. No sound, but we'll play it. Spencer, roll it. So the 92 car, just keep your eye on this thing.
What track is this at?
One of the IMCA tracks down in the States. I'm not exactly sure. Watch this thing. Oh.
That camera operator was awful lucky the pole was there.
But how is that pole not protected? Like, even from a head-on crash or anything like that. And then the light standard comes down on it, too.
I shouldn't laugh, but we know. Damn.
That adds
That's
insult
wild.
to injury. Look at that car.
But yeah, they really should be. I
And Nick, he gets
they
out, man.
should
Like,
be
whew.
protected.
Play that one more time, Spencer. I just want to see that car hit that pole one more time. That was crazy. But great to see him walk out. Wow. Yeah, they just touched there and oof. How about the balls on that photographer? He didn't even flinch. He stood right in there.
Yeah, he
The
stayed on
pole will stop
task.
it. Whoever's working with me this weekend, that's what we expect out of you.
That's right. No flinching.
Oh, but great, good to see that Dan McKenthune is okay. That's a wild crash. There's your Burger Barn video of the week. Once again, I want to thank Jay and everybody at Burger Barn for all their support here in getting the sprint cars out, helping out Maryville, Humberstone, Cornwall, all the tracks they're getting behind to get the sprint car teams out there racing. Sprint car teams and fans, if it weren't for those great businesses, Jay and everybody at Burger Barn, Dan and his crew at Nitro 54 Variety, Glenn and his guys at OSR, and John and his guys that down at Corpac Merchandising, we wouldn't be seeing all the amazing racing we are. And they're also big supporters of this program. So we thank them for all that. Burger Barn is open for takeout. Go down and check them out. They just opened a brand new business called the Pesky Penguin. It's shaved ice. And you're going to be hearing a lot more of that coming up as we get back through the rest of the summer and into next. And keep your eye out for that. It's located right between Petro Plus and Burger Barn on the same property. It's the Pesky Penguin. It pops up on the weekends. Check it out for your refreshments and some cool down stuff. We've got some other great videos, but at this point in time, we'll bring in our guest who's been with us since we got on the air tonight. He's been hanging in the back wings. Roger's with us. Roger Craig. Roger runs the G-Force Racing Leagues, which we have merged in with us. And I love his background there because I grew up with bluegrass music. So I love all the instruments in the background there. Roger, we got you on the split screen, but I see a violin, a banjo, a guitar, all kinds of other cool stuff there. So, we could talk bluegrass all day, just like Adam and Mike Mallett could talk wrestling. And Adam, I found out, I forgot to tell you this, Saturday, Ryan, my mobile camera guy, he is huge into professional wrestling. So we're going to have to hook you and Ryan up for a pro wrestling chat because I know that's up your league. But Roger, we welcome you in to talk about the G-Force Racing League that we've got going on. You've got all kinds of stuff going on with the G-Force leagues. You know, it's been a crazy couple of years of growth for you. Let's talk about it. We're proud to have you on the channel, and you're starting a new podcast now, and you're supposed to be retired, but I think you do more than ever.
Yeah, it's true. Before we start, though, I got to show you. I got my Dylan Westbrook shirt on because 2 years ago today at the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, he was a top qualifier and against some of the best competition across North America. So that's a great memory, and we got to celebrate those in these times when we can't get to the track because it's killing me. But yeah, we're really excited about the coming season and very appreciative of the partnership we've had with you guys right out of the gate. I mean, the whole concept of our league and everything started in the stands at Oshawa and Speedway. So when Greg Kellnan was talking about iRacing and coming out with the dirt, so that's where we started, and started with just me and running 2 races on a Monday night, and now we've got like a staff of 20. We're running 15 divisions. But the big deal is we've added the elite division, which was formerly the Rivalz Elite, and that really makes us a complete package now. So we have something to offer everybody, and we're really excited again to have another great relationship with OSR and the Schweeken family, and tonight, just actually shortly, we're starting our first pro qualifier, or the qualifier for the elite division. So we'll be having this year. It'll be made up of 25, the top 25 from last year's Rivalz Elite races, and then we'll be running 6 qualifiers, and we'll take there's 2 drop races, so we'll take the top 4 of your races, and the top 10 guys will also they'll run in the elite series, along with 5 provisionals. We'll have the gauntlet where 5 will transfer, and our Renegades A division will also transfer in there. So we're really, really excited about this, and we've had to move the races to Wednesday at 9 o'clock because the World of Outlaws iRacing version, they have their pro qualifiers running on Tuesday nights, and it'll be the best drivers on the iRacing platform coming out for Elite. So we didn't want to hold them back for that opportunity. So we will be running Wednesdays.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You don't want to compete with other things going on. And now you released a list, if I'm not mistaken, of the 24 drivers that are in. What can those drivers expect, Roger, to be different than what they would have seen last year? Are there much difference? Is there much difference, rather, in terms of procedure, rules, how you're going to run things?
I don't think so. We've been going over it, and our executive committee, some of them, Jeff Barker is on that, and he ran in that league. So we're trying to be as consistent as possible with what happened with you guys, and also trying to follow the G-Force Racing League rule book. So I think it'll be a good marriage of those two, and it should be pretty much the same what the drivers saw last year.
Right on. I know
Roger,
there's. Go ahead, Clint.
Go ahead, Adam. No.
Hit me.
The delay, that 1 second delay in the audio is just horrible, because we've worked together for 20 years, so we know when to jump in and jump out. But that 1 second delay just kills us, doesn't it, Clint?
Makes it tough sometimes. You were a lot more involved in the iRacing stuff, Adam. You dragged me into this. Roger, we had a great season and combined. I think the goal here is to keep pushing more viewers to the channel, give us something to do in the off season. When we had our lunch at Burger Barn about a month ago, we all agreed that, we did push a lot of what we call racers from Ontario into the iRacing platform because of COVID and the end of this, the end of the spring there. So I think we're going to have fantastic rosters to come back to. If you're looking, I guess the message here, if you're looking to race online, you can be, shown on the broadcast. You can get out here. Roger has leagues for pretty much every level of skill, and lots of different types of cars too. So whatever you feel you want to do, get out there. Roger, where can they find you guys to sign up for the leagues and find more information on the G-Force Racing Leagues?
So they could go on Facebook. It's G-Force Racing Leagues, and on the website it's gforcerl.com, and just contact us through either of those places, and we'll get back to you. So the first race is taking place in about, I guess, 15, 20 minutes, and it's really exciting. It's like having a newborn. You're waiting to see how many are going to show up and all that sort of stuff. So there's been a lot of excitement and a lot of chatter about it. So we're excited.
Great job, Roger. We appreciate everything you do. We're looking forward to working through the off season. That's the G-Force Racing Leagues. You can also find their new podcast coming up in the coming weeks here on Sunday mornings on G-Force TV. So if you're into iRacing, make sure you check out the G-Force Racing Leagues. Thanks, Roger. Good luck tonight with everything.
Yes, and a formal invite to you guys. We want to get you on our podcast before too long, too. So ours is the virtual side of racing, whereas yours is the non-virtual real side. So it's great to have a partnership with you guys. You've been great. And, that meeting we had at Burger Barn really made me realize just what kind of mentors you guys have been. You ask tough questions. You make us think about what we're doing. And we couldn't be advised by any more qualified, better people than you guys. So thank you very much.
It's a great partnership. We certainly appreciate it. Have a great night, Roger.
Yeah. Take care. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Roger, for sticking around with us. He's waited out to be on the air, Adam. Super cool what they've got going on. As we mentioned, no matter what your skill level is, look up G-Force Racing League so you can get into something cool. We've spawned some really good racers, and you can race from the best in the world with Alex Bergeron right down to me, who can barely keep it in the pipes most of the night. So check that out, G-Force Racing Leagues. While we take a moment, I want to thank everybody who gets behind us, of course. We talked about Burger Barn. We got Brian's Farm. All they do, check out their auctions online. It's briansfarm.com. And you can check out all the great offerings they've got there. Jibs Action Sports. I saw Mark at the races, and we mentioned before, he said business is booming. That's great to hear. All the kids are getting out and still riding the scooters and having fun. Mark says give them a shot online for all their action sports stuff. That's jibsactionsports.com, and check them out. Even if you're a young guy and you want to live back to your BMX days, you could spend hours just browsing that website. It's amazing. It's jibsactionsports.com. And, of course, everybody else who's got behind us, Quick, Frank, Wall, and all that fire starting stuff they've been great supporters and jumping in full-time lately here, plus all the other great sponsors you've heard us mention here today. We want to thank them. That takes us to another interesting video we've got. This is why caution takes so long. This was a funny video that was posted this week, and it's a race director having some fun, and she's kind of barking at the drivers and thinking probably what Doug Leonard's thinking on most nights. So roll that video if you can, Spencer.
Caution on turn 4, caution on turn 4. Yellow lights out, guys, slow it down. Holy shit. Why does he try to run the cushion? He knows he's not talented enough. Woo, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the caution's on turn 4 on the 95. We're going to be single file line because we're inside the 5. Your lineup's going to be S16, 27, 3B, AK47, 11S, 52, 50, 10, and 95 to the back, please. Good. Okay, good. 95 to the back, please. 95 to the back, please. 95. We are not doubling up. We are single file, and you're also in the back. 95. Did you not go to kindergarten? Do you not know what a single file line is? And do you not know how to find the back? Thank you. Sorry, everybody, for the extra 32 laps. We're going to be one to go at the line. Thank you.
So if you're fan in the stands wondering why, with one-way radios, are we still having these long delays? There's a good example of it, and I've heard that speech many times. That type of speech is why we now have a wall between Doug Leonard and you and Greg on Friday nights, because people don't need to hear Doug talking to the drivers like they're in kindergarten some nights, but some nights that's what it takes to get it going, right? And I think Saturday night at APC, it kind of felt like that at sometimes throughout the night too when we were under some extended delays. But, you know, like we tell in the sprint car world when we go out on tour, they can't all be gems. Once in a while you're going to have one that drags on a little longer than you want. But, you know, your thoughts on that, Adam?
To that point, Clinton, I think if someone were to go back and watch the APC race on a G-Force Light type broadcast with the yellows cut out, phenomenal race. There were some scoring troubles. There's no denying it. There's no hiding it. I think they need an adequate plan B for the future that would allow things to probably tighten up a little bit. But the racing itself was fantastic. But yeah, the yellows, and it's not, nobody wins. I mean, the drivers get frustrated, the officials get frustrated, the broadcasters get frustrated, the fans get frustrated. Nobody is winning on those long yellows. So it's not a conspiracy against anything in particular. It's just hiccups that they felt they had to get right before they could go back to green. And it happened a few times.
100%. Just goes to show you how some nights, you know, the race director can be, if you see Doug Leonard, he doesn't look happy. That's why he's had to make that speech 10 times already in the evening. Let's move on and talk about some national stuff that's gone on this week. Jimmy Johnson to Indy and Bubba is out of the 43 are two major national stories that we kind of touched upon a little bit. First off, let's play the Jimmy Johnson YouTube clip we got, Spencer.
This is what I want to do in 2021. Now it's time to get to work, figure out where we can get the sponsorship for the team. You know, what I experienced today, I checked that box. This is what I want to do in 21 and 22.
Obviously, you know Jimmy through NASCAR. So he said to me, you know, one of these days I want to drive one of those Indy cars. You know, I said, yeah, sure, you know, whenever you want. I didn't realize he was serious about it. Our team couldn't be happier that Jimmy wants to be here, wants to be with us. So we're looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
You know, I've been a big fan of Jimmy Johnson for many years, and he's just a real racer at heart, you know, and you know, I feel like I'm quite similar in that way too. So for me, yeah, it would be a dream come true to have the possibility to race against him.
I'm excited to see Jimmy Johnson get out there. Glad to see he's not going to fade away. I think when he won his 7th championship, I wasn't really a Jimmy Johnson fan, but I respected the class act that he is. And what a great champion he is, an ambassador for the sport. We need more Jimmy Johnsons and less Kyle Bushes with the attitude, in my opinion, for all sports in general. And that's what's going to help grow the sport, not punk-ass attitudes that are going to scare people away and piss off corporate dollars. So I'm glad to see Jimmy Johnson continuing his motorsports career. He's going to be a huge benefit for the IndyCar series and probably a major draw, because the more NASCAR pisses people off, the more they're going to be looking for somewhere to go. And let's see what Jimmy Johnson can do. What's your thoughts on it?
I was pretty shocked by it. To tell you the truth, I mean, it's not we've seen Indy racers come over to NASCAR, but the other way around isn't something that you really consider. So look, he's not going to run any ovals. Is that what I gather from that? It's just going to be road courses and street courses?
I'm not sure. I didn't take that out. Maybe I didn't pay close enough attention to it. But we'll see how that works out. Bubba Wallace out of the 43, Adam. Your take on that? There's a lot of speculation on where he's going to land, and will he remain in NASCAR? That was a discussion we had about a month or two ago. What do you take out of the Bubba Wallace deal?
Well, I was shocked, and then I got talking to a good friend today who's got some knowledge, and we kind of pieced together what might be happening. So what have you heard on the rumor mill? And I'll share with what I've heard.
I don't know. I haven't heard too much. Just speculation from our level of people who don't really know how it's going to go. Where could he end up? Would he end up in the 48 for Jimmy Johnson? I don't know. There's talk today that Kyle Larson could end up back in the 43. There's also talk of him being in the 48. There was talk about, because Chevy dropped Larson, that wouldn't happen. But then in the same article, it mentioned that Hendrick had reasonable sway and he did complete the sensitivity training and maybe time for a second chance. Crazy to see. Silly seasons go on for a little bit here. There's still talk of what happens. Everybody obviously speculated that Larson would end up at Stewart-Haas Racing, but they seem quite content with what they've got, at least how it looks right now. So I'm not sure. Wherever Bubba lands, it's going to be a big story on many fronts, from the racing side and the political side of things. And my stance on that: keep your politics to yourself. Let's go racing. Same thing with football.
Okay,
they're doing all this stuff this week, and their ratings are half of what they should be.
You get 10 steps ahead of yourself. We're talking about Bubba Wallace. So I heard that Bubba Wallace winds up going to Gaunt Brothers Racing. Daniel Suarez is out, which sounds ridiculous. As much as I appreciate what the Gaunt Brothers are doing and I'm happy for them, that makes no sense. But then I also heard that there's new ownership involved, possibly Denny Hamlin, which means possibly Michael Jordan, which means probably there would be a tie-in to Joe Gibbs Racing, which makes sense on the Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan angle. Because if Bubba Wallace was gonna go to a team and it was gonna be supported by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, it would almost have to be Toyota, and it would almost have to be affiliated with Joe Gibbs. So those things start to add up. My concern is exactly what Barney Visser was doing until the price tag got so big, it basically ran Barney Visser out of business. He was either going to have to pay many, many more millions of dollars for the equipment or walk away. He chose to walk away. Levine Family Racing seemed to me they had the same opportunity with Christopher Bell, but they just didn't have the magic to make it happen. So Will Gaunt Brothers and their group have the magic to make it happen. But as you piece it all together, it does make some sense, because apparently Gaunt Brothers is looking to get a charter.
Interesting theory. See, you should have led with that. I didn't have all that backdoor information. But, I tend to think from the political side, Bubba Wallace, they can't let him be left out of NASCAR for the foreseeable future. They need to make sure he has a ride. I think they're going to ensure that he stays in the sport, if nothing else, for the political end of and how bad the optics would be if he was out. But again, we'll leave the politics out of racing. Those are two stories that came up. Switching gears, here's another story. Go ahead.
All of those theories that you had, the 42 car, the 48 car, that was the path I was on. It just seemed to make the most sense. But the power of Denny Hamlin with some support from Michael Jordan, it would have to be Toyota. Anyhow.
Yeah. You're not too far off, I don't think, possibly there. We've got a couple of topics left we're gonna talk about here. First off is theft in the pits. A tweet came out from TJ Stutz this week, and Danny Dietrich shared it from Pennsylvania. Can you show that image, Spencer? TJ Stutz says, unfortunately, another first for us. Not something we've ever had to face in Pennsylvania before, but we had a significant amount of cash taken from our truck Saturday night at Port Royal. Sad to say, but I guess we need to start locking up our rigs. Now, that's that could happen anywhere, Adam. I mean, I grew up in the security business with my dad being a burglar alarm guy and a video camera guy, so we were well aware of theft in the neighborhood and theft all around because it was happening in every business that we were going near because we were servicing. And unfortunately, in that business, you mainly get called after someone gets robbed or stolen from, or that's the crappy part of that business. We were meeting people after the fact that we couldn't help them, but we were always brought up to lock up the trailer, watch your tools, don't leave your truck open, because as you're hanging at the back of the trailer, they could be rooting through your truck. It's happened at least once a year you see this story. So this is more of a public service message, not to draw a negative light on Port Royal, but this happens all over the place. So teams, make sure you're locking up your stuff. Make sure your wallet and your valuables and everything are put away, in your cash is tucked away when you put on your driver's suit. Make sure you're taking those opportunities to protect your tools stuff too, because there's scoundrels everywhere, Adam, and we see it all the time. So just a sad story out of Pennsylvania, but make sure it can happen anywhere. So lock your stuff up, watch your tools. If everybody's up watching the races, make sure someone's watching the pit stall. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, and this is not a racing story, Clinton. This is a humanity story. It just so happens that racers, quite often, race teams, travel with a lot of cash around them. You show me places in the world where people have a lot of cash sitting around. I'm going to show you a place where there's a lot of theft. I'm not condoning it. I'm not defending it. But I'm saying it's lock your shit up.
Especially in today's day and age. It's getting crazier by the day. Let's jump over to a little bit of dirt daydreams. Indoor dirt kart dreams. I have been dreaming of a place like this for a long time. We used to go to Tony Kaliza's place in North Tonawanda, where it was indoor slick track racing on like a polished concrete floor. We had a great time over there. But check out this dirt track in Idaho. They're renting it out, $25 for a 20-lap race. It looks amazing. A real dirt surface with real dirt go-karts. I love it. It looks like it's set up, inside what could be a hockey arena or something like that. I've often dreamt of a place like this with a fitness facility on the side where we can just kind of like have a YMCA for racers, where we can have training classes and leagues and all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, this is my field of dreams right here. We could have so much fun. Just throw a little broadcast facility on the side and we'd be all set up. But rental carts on real dirt. Yes, someone finally gets the message.
It is pretty cool. You were with me. I was with you until you said fitness. And
okay, pizza joint and wings on the side.
Go.
That better than a fitness place?
Yeah.
And the last topic is PRI's canceled out, and this is a big story out of Indiana. If you're involved in the racing world at all, from the part side, racing side, manufacturer side, business side of racing, it all happens at PRI. It used to be in Florida, and then it moved to Indianapolis. It is a massive, massive trade show. I only got through half of it last year alone, but it was amazing to be there. All the hitters in racing, all the players are in downtown Indianapolis that weekend. It's a great time, great party, and a lot of business. And their motto is the business of racing happens at PRI. Let's talk about that for a minute. Your perspective on what kind of a loss this is for the folks at PRI, the folks who go there every year as tradition, and also all the business that are going to have to, happen in a different way. Like for us, when we were going down there to start Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse, we were building new relationships and getting to meet all these people face to face. So when you talk to them on the phone, you can put a face to the name and the voice, and it just adds to the business end of things so much. So your thoughts on that, PRI not happening in 2020?
Yeah, it's a bummer, but I think it's the responsible thing to do. I think a ton of vendors had already pulled out from the show. So given what was left, I think the attendees weren't going to get what they deserved to get from it. I think the vendors weren't going to get what they deserved to get from it. Clinton, in so many ways, 2020 just didn't happen. So I think the responsible thing to do was to shut it down.
Yeah, it's been the craziest year ever. Let's talk about something that Spencer wrote to us. A lot of people might think that this channel, G-Force, is just for the COVID year. That's not true.
Hang on. It comes from a comment. So let's show the comment. So
Okay,
Spencer was helping
comment.
us. Yeah, Spencer was helping us answer. There was a comment from Dana. So Spencer, if you can throw that up.
He's looking
for it.
it.
Hang on. The only comment that you had one job.
Listen,
it's not true, Spencer.
You've
Spencer
got
has like
a doubleheader
20
with him
jobs.
this weekend. Don't lip him off.
Oh, so anyhow,
He'll start
sorry
making
for
this
cutting it.
messy.
I didn't want you to start giving the answer before we had presented the question. So we'll get the question up there, and this is what we'll close the show with, because it's an important topic, and it's one that I'm fairly excited about.
So you ground it to a halt.
Ground it to a halt.
Let's play a little bit of Jeopardy. We'll give the answer, and then we'll ask the question. The answer is G-Force is here to stay.
It is. So Dana says, would you guys do more outside of Ohsweken for big races post-COVID? Coverage of the APC series and Frosttoberfest through G-Force, for example, has been awesome. So that was the comment that I had shared, Clinton. I'm glad you don't read my comments, but you read Spencer's. That's real nice. But Spencer had given the answer. So go right ahead.
I do see your comment now. Yeah, so the answer is no, G-Force is here to stay. And to directly answer your question about other events outside of Ohsweken, yes, that is the plan. As of right now, we've been super excited about taking the show on the road, getting to see the other tracks, learning what is capable outside of Ohsweken. And I think, we have bigger plans than ever now to continue to do this. I don't want to tell you guys this, but I asked Spencer today if he's prepared to work every Saturday next summer. And he said, hell yes, let's go out racing every week. So I think, between the relationships we built this year, we don't want to get too far ahead, but I think we're going to have a very busy 2021, I should say, regardless of whether COVID comes back or whether we're still under lockdown. Jesus, hope not. But if we are, I think you're going to see, all kinds of great stuff come down the channel. The G-Force Lite, let's face it, guys like Sean Roberts and Chris Hawkins, who work for us now, they made business, and Dave Stiers, they made business out of selling DVDs to racers for a long time. Well, you can't even buy a DVD player anymore. So it's either sellable online content, or we can make a deal with them to buy the content from them and give it away for free, get some advertising dollars. And I think we've shown a new model this year on how we can even continue to deliver the weekly racing at a lot of these tracks a few days later on tape delay that won't harm the track's gate, but still get the message out and still promote their sponsors and their teams. And I think that's something that's super exciting. Just before I throw it to you, Adam, we're already looking at possibly a broadcast trailer next year to make things easier on us, so we can just pull in, get set up. We've even talked about wireless camera setups today, Spencer and I, to figure where we could just put a giant pole off the top of the trailer and not have to run cable. We would just send all the camera signals back wirelessly like we do with 2 out of our 6 cameras right now. So big plans for expansion. G-Force is here to stay. And it started in November, long before COVID ever came along. This plan, the virus kind of helped accelerate things a little bit, I think, on the action plan. But this was the plan all along.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to run with, Clinton, was long before there was talk of COVID-19, we had gotten together and basically created G-Force and decided what we wanted to do with it. And streaming iRacing was a fantastic way to make that happen. COVID happened, opened a whole lot of doors to us, and we have no intentions of closing those doors. We have intentions of being real busy next year, having a lot of fun, continuing with the fantastic relationships we've built, and putting out a product that people can be proud of, people can get excited over, and where people can enjoy their love for racing just like we do. And I think next year we'll be doing the same as we did this year, only much, much more.
I think the only thing our sport needs more than money and sponsorship dollars and help there is exposure. So we need to keep exposing it as much as we can in every way we can. And anybody who's trying to shut that down is on the wrong side of the fence as far as what we need to do. You know, we got to get everybody out there. The more kids that can see this, the more they're going to drag their parents out and invest in our sport, whether it be as a fan on Friday nights or in a late model on Saturday nights at sunset. We need them out there. And, so let's all work together to keep things growing and keep pushing as hard as we can. But, G-Force is here to stay. We're excited. We got big expansion plans, and we're not going to have any shortage of programming outside of Ush Weekend.
Well said.
That wraps up this week's show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I want to thank Roger Craig and everybody from the G-Force Racing Leagues for everything they've got going on. We still have a lot of great announcements to come down as far as iRacing is going to come in the future, and lots of other great stuff. So stick with us. Don't forget, we're a doubleheader this weekend. Spencer, roll those 2 flyers again if you can. Friday, we are live from Merrittville Speedway, 7 p.m. with the 360 sprints, crate sprints, and Hoosier stocks for $500 to win shows. It's a $2,000 for the 360s, $1,000 for the crates, and $500 for the Hoosier stocks, presented by Nitro 54, Burger Barn, OSR, and Core Pack. And then on Saturday, we jump down for Apple Fest Shootout Light on Operation Green Flag here on G-Force TV, live from Brighton Speedway, 6 p.m. Saturday night. Sunday at 7 p.m., we will show the Sunset Oscar event that's from happening Saturday on G-Force Light, and Monday on G-Force Light, we will have the Merrittville broadcast from Saturday this weekend. So awesome week of broadcasts coming up. And don't forget Adam's Mindwell session on Thursdays. Tomorrow night I'm off. Go out for dinner and get ready for a long weekend.
Sounds good, man. We'll see you this weekend. And folks, we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Spencer, for everything you do. Stay safe, everyone.